In the heart of Arkansas, nestled between the small town of Lakeview and the shimmering waters of Bull Shoals Lake, lies a stretch of road with a dark secret. This isn't just any highway. This is Highway 178, a name that sends a shiver down the spine of anyone who knows its story. For generations, whispers have swirled around this winding asphalt ribbon. Stories of a sinister curse that turns a simple drive into a terrifying ordeal. So, where did it all begin? To understand the haunting of Highway 178, we have to go back to a time before the road even existed. Back then, these dense woods were the domain of a solitary figure, a woman locals called a witch. They said she was ancient, powerful, and deeply connected to the forest she called home. She was a sorceress with a fiery temper and, some whispered, a thirst for blood. When the town decided to build a highway, they planned a route that cut directly through her sacred territory, completely unaware of the fury they were about to provoke. As the trees fell and the land was scarred, the witch's rage grew into a storm of dark magic. With her home destroyed and her sanctuary violated, she unleashed a terrible curse upon the very ground the road was built on. She vowed that the highway would forever be bloodthirsty, that it would demand a price from all who dared to travel it. And her curse didn't wait long to make itself known. Almost immediately after the highway opened, strange things started happening. Drivers traveling at night would report seeing pairs of glowing, malevolent eyes staring out from the darkness of the trees. Eerie whispers seemed to ride the wind, echoing through their cars, speaking words no one could understand. It was just the beginning. The mechanical failures were the next sign. Engines would suddenly die for no reason, leaving drivers stranded in the oppressive darkness. Tires, brand new and perfectly fine moments before, would mysteriously go flat. It was as if the road itself was actively trying to trap people, to hold them there. But the most terrifying encounters were far more personal. Some drivers, their faces pale with fear, claimed to have seen the witch herself. They described apparitions on the side of the road, her gaunt form and long, gnarled fingers reaching out as if to snatch them from their cars as they sped past. The curse was alive, and it was hungry. Over the years, the stories spiraled, each one more horrifying than the last. The highway developed a reputation for phantom accidents. There were numerous reports of vehicles suddenly swerving off the road, as if pushed by an unseen hand, and plunging into the deep, dark woods below. Rescuers would often find no logical reason for the crash, no skid marks, no mechanical failures, just a car mangled at the bottom of a ravine. The ghostly encounters also became more aggressive. Drivers would glance in their rear-view mirror and see the twisted, enraged face of a phantom figure chasing them, its expression one of pure hatred. It was a terrifying, heart-pounding race against a supernatural pursuer that wasn't bound by the laws of physics. Perhaps the most infamous sighting is that of the woman in the road. Countless people have sworn they saw the silhouette of a tall woman standing directly in their path. She's described as wearing a long, black dress that billows in an unnatural wind, her arm outstretched, beckoning drivers to come closer to meet their doom. Slamming on the brakes, drivers would find that she had vanished into thin air the moment they stopped, leaving them alone on the haunted highway with a racing heart and the chilling realization of what they just saw. The community of Lakeview didn't just stand by and let this happen. They were terrified. They tried everything they could think of to break the curse. They organized prayer circles along the roadside. They brought in priests to perform exorcisms, sprinkling holy water on the cursed asphalt. They even hired paranormal investigators, who arrived with all their sophisticated equipment, hoping to capture proof and find a way to appease the vengeful spirit. Their ghost boxes crackled with unsettling voices, their EMF meters screamed, and their thermal cameras captured cold spots that defied explanation. But nothing worked. The curse was too old, too powerful. It was woven into the very fabric of the land. The highway remained a place of dread, and it continued to claim victims. Today, Highway 178, between Lakeview and Bull Shoals, is still widely considered one of the most haunted and dangerous roads in the entire country. The official warnings are clear. Avoid it if you can, and whatever you do, do not travel it after the sun goes down. The locals know the stories aren't just folklore. They are a warning. Those who choose to ignore it, the thrill seekers and the skeptics, are said to be taking their lives into their own hands. They say the witch's curse is as strong today as it ever was. The highway is still thirsty, and its hunger for blood shows no sign of ever being satisfied. So, if you ever find yourself in that corner of Arkansas, faced with a choice of routes, remember the story of the ancient witch and her cursed road. Sometimes, the long way around is the only safe way home. Thanks for joining me on this journey down one of America's most haunted highways. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the unknown. Stay safe out there.